Welcome to Science, Health and Healing Encyclopedia of Children's Health Core. I'm Dr. Majid Ali. The subject of this article is Insulin Toxicity Demystifies Syndrome X. Professor Gerald Reaven in 1988 gave a bending lecture to the American Diabetic Association and introduced the term Syndrome X. He described cases of people who suffered from angina-like chest pain that was attributed to a heart problem of circulation, but their coronary arteries were very clear. To his great credit, he chose the term Syndrome X, hoping that further research would elucidate the true nature of the problem of Syndrome X. He talked about people who had excess insulin resistance, which means insulin isn't working. And then he associated with the risk of obesity and then diabetes and all the complications of diabetes and insulin resistance, including stroke. Now from 1988, now we are coming close to 24 years. Isn't it interesting that Syndrome X, the term is being used blindly, thoughtlessly, robotically by many endocrinologists and cardiologists and doctors. And if you ask them what is the cause, they shrug and they say, well, Dr. Reaven didn't think he knew the cause. How can we know the cause? What I'm saying to you here is that the common denominator in all the clinical and laboratory abnormalities observed in what Dr. Reaven described as Syndrome X are clearly due to insulin toxicity, too much insulin. I'm going to suggest that you watch two companion videos, the number one killer in the world part 1, the number one killer in the world part 2, and Insulin Toxicity Demystifies the Metabolic Syndrome. And then I'm going to suggest, please do me a favor, watch the 7 stages of insulin toxicity. If you're 10-15 pounds in excess of your weight, you're likely to be insulin toxic. If you're 30 pounds in excess of your weight, you have more than 98% possibility that you are insulin toxic. All what you need to do is to have a 3-hour insulin test. I'm not interested in glucose, I'm interested in insulin. The insulin toxicity will go on and hurt you at cellular energetic level for years, sometimes decades, before somebody diagnoses diabetes for you. So these two terms, the metabolic syndrome and Syndrome X, really should be abandoned and replaced with insulin toxicity. This subject is so crucial. Insulin is the minister of metabolism and energy to the oxygen king of human biology. That's the basic evolutionary design. I assert in close to 70 videos on insulin toxicity on this website, on this encyclopedia, that you cannot understand any aspect of degenerative, metabolic, autoimmune, inflammatory disorders without understanding the concept of cellular grease, which is built on the cells because oxygen can't get in and wash this grease off. As a result, you develop insulin toxicity. Our mission at this encyclopedia is to tear down the curtains of dummification in medical knowledge that is being put before you by the public television, by the commercial television, by the New York Times, by Wall Street Journal, by your doctor, by American Diabetic Association. You know, the only thing we, the people, have on our side is the power of knowledge, power of understanding, power of enlightenment. Thank you for joining me, and do join me, and do so soon. Thank you.